Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on that
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, The Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder's standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For all
forest.
the elementals!
It's probably my time again. It's a good little speech.
Fancy meeting you again.
The Grenadians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Laxliger are unquestionably the most troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Gridania. The Civs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Grenadians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloft, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Rama. The Gradians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Laxley even more regularly, you must be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sils, they are yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it's broken. Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elements, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will it take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Laxiel will continue their incursions, spurred on by Gridania and her unstable appetite for destruction. Whether the Grenadians like it or not, sooner or later will come to an all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Outer will need all the help it can muster. How vulnerable might the aid of a capable adventurer provide to them? Well, perhaps we will find out if the Elder Seal's words fell on fertile ground. And off they go. The twins. And that completes our second memory, or whatever this is, remembrance. So let's go ahead and teleport to the third one, which is in Lanosa. Right there. Let's go. And we are in Lanosa with all these quests we haven't done yet. It's all good. Let's get upstairs and see if we can't do this remembrance. Maybe we need to go back to the lower decks. Alright, where exactly do we need to go? The lower decks. Alright, let's go back. We need to hit the personal lift. So it's this way. There's the lift. Alright, Zango, Storm Sergeant. Here to attend the remembrance service? Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Proceed to the stateroom. You better believe it.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Ah, yeah, ah, ha, ha, yeah, ha.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit, Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
Oh, okay, it's Megan. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Shagan, worships of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribes weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Limsa's backyard. And that is to say naught of their internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Gridanians whet their blades and watch. If the Lomanians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To end this, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would have a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I blacking out? Oh, Tick Man, this is my way. Are you well? I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final reimbursement service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Walking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. So now we need to go back to the Walking Sands. So let's teleport. I don't remember which one it was. I do remember it was not the Black Shroud. Is it Italian? No. Oldar. Yes. Horizon. That's where we need to go. So let's go ahead and teleport up out of here. So that was a pretty good little speech from all of them. Now the question is, who are we going to join? But she said we could do one and then transfer to another. I wonder if there's any penalty. Like I know the people I summon with the bell, if you change their class, they go back to level 1 and they lose all progress. That is no way, no good. But on the other hand, if there's no penalty, I'll just do one, then do the other, and so on. But I guess we won't know. Let's just get back to these emissaries and let them know who we're going to get. I think I'm going to do the boat one first, because he mentioned that there's two people that they have to worry about. Here we go. There's the color girl. We did our color quest. So if I got 2 with the boat people, that means I got 1 with the other one. That means I'll have all 6 stones. Eventually. Eventually we'll get there. And then eventually I'll have to buy the expansion. We'll see how far I get. I only have 180 days to play, so. Oh, here we go. Manophilia. Welcome back to command. Were the Grand Company leaders' words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is best with problems. I trust you see now why your service is in such demand. What would were more of you? What if there were more of you, Tickman? But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray and give the Garlean Company officers your answers. That's it. That is a hero in the making. The quest is complete. Oh, and there's more.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and 7th Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you.
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
There it is, people. A hero in the making is complete. So thanks for joining me. My name's Tick. And then next time, we will decide which one we weren't. Serpent, Flame, or Storm. So until then, y'all take care.